So guys, welcome back to a new video. In this video I'm going to solve Hactify week 3 labs of virtually testing foundation internship. I will provide the week 3 technical session link below, as they have given us the YouTube link. You can just have a look if you want to learn XSS and DOM based XSS attacks. In that video you will learn about how we can do script and get reflected XSS or stored one also, followed by a DOM based XSS, and how to balance our payload so that the script may run successfully. So in this one I'm going to solve the week 3, that is cross-site scripting labs. It contains of 11 sub labs. I was having some difficulty in solving this lab, so I used the payload of 11th lab in this lab only, and it worked successfully. For the last 4 labs, I guess, no, for the last 5 labs we will use Bob suit to intercept the request and have just little twist in the payloads. So let's start with our first one, that is let's do it. So it says subscribe to our newsletter, so I will just solve it as a complete beginner and show you what are the web sites I visited to find the solution. So as a starting, I will just write hello and see what is shown. So our hello word is reflected here. So it is always recommended to use our payload with a letter, so that we can know whether the payload is working fine, followed by the keyword. So we'll just use script alert 1 followed by closing tag of a script. So in this case it works successfully, and this is our POC. So I will just take a quick assess this, as I don't want to solve it again, and just save it. So that will be, let's do it. Now we will proceed with sublab 2. For getting an alert pop-up box, we can use alert, prompt, print, or I guess prompt, print, alert, and I'm missing one word. We will see in the later. So now in this second one, let's just run the previous code again. So as you can see, our script was printed as it is. That means the script is not being balanced, and we need to edit our script here. So we'll just go to page source and see what was the value taken as input. So as you can see, the hello script alert script was taken inside a parameter named value. So we need to escape this. For that we will just use these symbols. When you just press enter, it is run successfully, and when we just see the page source, you will come to know why it worked. So when we just placed divided comma and angle bracket, it closed this whole input field, and hence our script was run. So now for the further labs, I'm going to use this payload only, that has a skip sequence, or not sequence but a skip parameter ahead of it. So now the next one is XSS is everywhere. In this case I first tried with the same parameters and codes, but it didn't work. It asks for please enter a valid email address. So if I just write abc@gmail.com. It took it, so now it was time to give it the twist. So I wrote this script followed by @gmail.com and it worked. So it was another XSS vulnerability. So this was our sub lab 3. Now let's proceed with the lab 4. Alternatives are must. In this one we will learn about another substitutes of alert. So as the last one we are going to use the script after that followed by gmail.com. If we run that, it was printed as it is. Why it happened? Let's just have a look at the page source. So as you can see, the alert word was neglected by the web app. So we need to use something which is not alert. So you can just Google alternatives of alert to give a message on the screen. I'm sorry, I just need to verify the captcha. So after the captcha, let's see for this Stack Overflow. I already know the solution. We can use prompt, print, and another one method. I guess window. It was something like that. Not in this case. So I leave the research work over you all. I'm just going to proceed with the prompt one. Just replace this alert with a prompt. Sorry for mistaking. When we press enter, we have our XSS successfully for this lab. Now let's move to our next sub lab, that is lab number 5. Developer hates scripts. Now for this lab, it's a little tricky one. In the earlier one, we have to do the alternative of alert. We use prompt, but in this case we have to use alternative of script. Now, as many of us don't know what is the alternative of script, I will first just run the command, not the script one, sorry, but the prompt one. So you can see it was printed as it is. Let's go for the page source, and as you can see, the script tag was separated by a underscore first and last, and the slash was ignored. So we need alternative for script to display an alert box. So I finally figure out what we can use. So this is the website I found out, that is XSS filter in evasion cheat sheet by OWAPS. So we can just proceed with any of the payloads, but I preferred using the no quotes and no semicolon payload here. So I'll first write the hello with the prompt with the prompt option, and replace this with our script. I will just put a hello here. Keep up the practice that I never forget this, and 1. So it was stored. That means our payload worked successfully. So this lab was an example of stored XSS. You can just replace the link of image source with another HTTPS or something like that, and you will find your response on the page. Now let's proceed with our lab 6. The same payload will work in lab 6 also. Asking for change the variation. I will provide this page link in the description too. You can just have a look at it. If I just go for same script here, the script didn't work. Let's just check what was the issue. So in this case, the JavaScript word was ignored by the web app. Now we need to tweak our or twist our payload so that this works fine. So what we can do for that, sorry, I used the earlier payload. I needed to use the new one. If I just enter, so the image section was stored. So this is also an example of stored XSS. I used the same payload as the last lab 5 one, and it worked. So now let's move to our lab 7. Now it's something like the HTML part only, like encoding using the Bob suite. So sorry, I just clicked lab. Just go to lab 7. It is encoding is the key. Now if I run the same code here as the earlier one, this will get printed as it is, and when we check the page source, we will come to know that it is not reflected in the page source itself. That means the payload was encoded and sent to the server. So now it's where our Bob suite comes in action. Let's enter our payload and click subscribe. So as you can see, the payload has been encrypted. So for now I will just send it to repeater and forward this request, close this. If I just send it and render, just let me close this one. When I render it, you can see it's printed as it is. If I just take the payload, let me just copy it from here and go to the bub encoder or decoder, you can say. Let's just paste the payload here, and I'm encoding as a URL. You can just go to encode as and click on URL. This section will be shown to you. Just copy the encoded text and replace it with the email section. So when we will click send, the same is displayed, means our encoding text worked successfully here in this case. So let's just get back to the page and send that to the server. As you can see, it worked and our image was stored in it successfully. You can also use another payload. If I just go to decoder and write script .1 followed by using the escape character too, so that it doesn't make us difficult to understand that. It didn't run. I guess it's still neglecting the alert and script words. So as the earlier payload worked successfully, so we are going to use that payload only. So that was it for the lab 7. Now let's get back to lab 8. It is XSS with file upload. I will not do this now. I will do it at the last. For now we will proceed with XSS with file upload, file content. So in this case, the content inside the file is executed. If I just show you, let me just, burp is not intercepting. Yes, it's not intercepting. If I just upload this one, so the content of the file was shown on the screen. So let me just intercept on and show you what's in my file which I'm going to upload, that is check.html. You can just name it anything, whether check.txt, css, whatever you want. So the file is being uploaded and the content of the file is script alert document.cookie. This means if the script runs successfully, I will be prompted with my session ID on the screen. So let's just forward this, and I'm prompted with my session ID. That means our script runs successfully. If I just change the content here from document.key, I replace it with 1, this will also work fine. See, I got our response as 1. So this is how you could have solved lab 9 file content. Now let's go to the lab 10, that is stored everywhere. So this was same as the the HTML lab, in which we have to register and check for accounts. So in this case also I will proceed with the same script as here, no colon, no quotes. Let me just add the escape character followed by hello followed by the code. I will just replace XSS with 1 in this case, and hello with L name, sorry, F name for the first name. Now just copy this and paste it here. Alert 2 as second one, and for last name as L name. Now for the email ID, I'm going to use the same command with @gmail.com at last. So I just keep it 3. I will just copy this so that I don't have to guess what was the email, and for password I can keep it as anything. Now I will just click registered. Now it's time for login. I will paste the email that I created, and for password let's just paste it. I will just write down the email for just instance. Now when we click login, we should be prompted if the script runs successfully. It didn't log in, I guess there was some issue. So yes, our file contents are stored. This means it was also a stored XSS. Earlier I modified it with, I guess, prompt also. Let me just place this here and click on update. When I click log out, I got logged out of the whole session. So let me just pause the video and log in again. So when I logged in with the prompt email, I was prompted. Let me just log in again so that I can show you. So when I updated the email inside, so let's just go with prompt as, I guess, alert what is also being neglected. Now when I click login, it got executed and we have our prompt here. So the email section is also vulnerable to the XSS, whether stored or reflected, both of it. Now let's see our lab 11, that is DOM based accesses. It is same as solved in the video. I'm sorry for the frame lags. So now in this only the thing we can see here is hello, and this is a DOM accesses lab. So we'll just go to inspect element as we were taught. Let me just decrease the size for now. Let's increase this. Let's go to the debugger section where we have our file. So this is the dom.js file in which all the JavaScript code is written. It shows a variable btc, eth, and dodge. So if we just change the URL as coin, we have the name as the 3 coins are, and when we just change the content as ETH, we have the value of ETH here. Now I will just do it as BTC for the Bitcoin value, and as we were taught, the payload is as follows. That will be image followed by the source, and the source is X, means it will not be found, so it will show an error. So if error is caused, then it will show us the prompt. So another word another word alternative for alert is confirm. I was forgetting this word. It will show confirm. When we press enter, the prompt was shown successfully. We can use the same vulnerability in the file name section, so I will just copy the payload from here. Let's just close this. Now it's time for our last lab, that is lab 8. Now the bug should be in action. Not now. Not saying for our file upload. Let's just keep it on. Go to browse. I will upload the same file. Now the file name is check.html. I will replace it with the name or the parameter or the payload, you can say. When I click forward, and again it was prompted. So this was it for the week 3 by VTF internship, and see you in the next video. If you want videos on try hack me, hack the box, you can just subscribe to my channel and bookmark the playlist in your browser. So see you in the next video next week. Till then, stay safe and happy. Thank you.